How's it going, folks? Nick with Foreclosure Finder. I'm back with another walkthrough of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every Saturday morning. We are out here today in Wethersfield, Connecticut, my hometown. Not a foreclosure today. This is actually a personal investment my brother and I just picked up. Figured I'd show you guys the before here because we are going to do some work, and then maybe just give you a little background on it because we did pick it up off market too. So maybe give you a little details on how you might be able to get some deals. Deals off market here. Again, for any information on these properties or just looking to connect on real estate in general, go ahead and take a look at the links in the video description. All right, so we're out here in Wethersfield today. We just picked this one up. I think as of this video, we closed on it about a week ago. Getting our scope outlined. I actually apologize. I wanted to get the video done before I started some of the demo work. And then, of course, as I wrapped up the bathroom, I remembered, hey, I need a video here. So just going to give you guys a little peek. We picked this one up for $208. This was off-market deal, $208 final sales price. We got a pretty good deal on it. We did end up getting a loan. I think the appraisal came back around $235, $240, so we were well ahead of the curve. Not in bad shape. You can see siding's pretty new and good shape. Gonna need some landscaping here, but the guy's actually coming tomorrow to knock that out. Basically gonna remove all of these shrubs, all of this vegetation in the front. There's some stuff in the back too, and just get this cleaned up, you know, put some rocks down, make it look nice. Just try to have nothing growing up against the house if we can help it. Roof's in pretty good shape. Outside's not gonna really need too much. One of the reasons we kind of picked this one up and we're interested on it is because really just needs mostly cosmetic updates. Looks like a lot of the heavy lifting has been done. Big backyard, nice fenced in, very nice. Looks like they had a above ground swimming pool here at some point. You can see the indent, and then we got some legacy footings and electrical here. We're gonna get all this removed. Got the electrician coming early next week to tap into some of this stuff, and we got to get rid of that a little bit. Back of the house, again, big yard, nice and private. We got the hedgerow, one neighbor here, nice high fence with the other neighbor here, so nice private backyard. Little bit of stuff going on here, just again deferred maintenance from the sale, but we're gonna have our guy kind of take care of that. I am a little questioning this tree a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to get rid of these two or not, just because of how close they are to the house. I'm thinking I am, just because they are, you know, I'd rather do it now than later before it becomes a real problem, and they are a bit smaller. Maybe leave a comment if you would get rid of these or not. I'm leaning towards yes, just because of how close they are to the house. You can see the next biggest tree is this one in the backyard, but I don't think we got to worry about that anytime soon. Okay, you know, need a little bit of power wash on the back here. Same thing with the roof, but again, good shape. Deck in pretty good shape as well. Like all the wood, pretty solid, nothing too soft. Little wear and tear, but that's nothing too out of the ordinary. Got some beams here just in case we need them. Just bringing some materials over from another project. So you know, just gonna basically need a paint job. Obviously, seen better days in that regard. So we'll see what we want to do here, but I guess with this one, I'm gonna probably end up doing most of the work, like the painting, some of the flooring. Again, not too bad inside, so that's kind of one of the reasons we picked it up. All right, so we'll head back around to the front. So yeah, just a little bit of a background. It was an off-market deal. My brother and I are on a few like Facebook like investment groups, like wholesaler groups, you know, that market properties off market. Ended up putting a deal together, and like I said, we just closed on it just last week. So all right, coming in, again, apologize for the mess. Like I said, I forgot to shoot the video before we started getting materials and stuff in here, so if you can bear with me, that is greatly appreciated. I guess because it's a personal rental, I just give you guys a little bit of like a background on what we do. So like one of the first things we do obviously is change the locks. We always put the electronic locks on. That just makes it way easier. If I need a contractor to come in here and take a look, I give them the combo. Tenants get their own code when the time comes. I have my own code, so I ain't getting locked out of the house. Highly suggest these. They're less than $100. This is just a quick set here. And for the most part, you know, you don't have to do too much on the door. A lot of them are plug and play. So I do got to do a little bit of work on the storm door. You can see the hydraulic arm here is no longer there, so that's an easy fix, but not too bad. All right, I do have the power off right now just because I was doing some of the demo work, just playing it safe. But walking into the living room here, again, you can see kind of the tools and some of the material, but like I said, overall the property was in pretty good shape. Obviously the flooring, there is hardwood underneath this. We'll see in one of the bedrooms. So this carpet's going. We're going to be refinishing the floor with some hardwood, with the hardwood that's underneath here, which will be pretty nice. I guess, how do I want to do this? So 3 bedrooms, it's a shade under 850 square feet. So it is a little on the smaller side, but it is pretty functional, and you do get the three bedrooms. We tend to have a little bit better luck renting out the smaller properties. They just seem to be more desirable. There's a more, at least in our area of the country, a little bit more demand for some of these smaller, 2-3 bedroom homes. So just kind of keeping that in mind. That's one of the reasons why we liked it too. Kitchen, now we're really not doing much in the kitchen. I know it looks a little bit dated. We got like the early 2000s cabinets here and stuff, but overall it's in pretty good shape. Typically when we buy these properties, we're renovating them in full. But I think with the condition of the kitchen, like the backsplash and countertop are in pretty good shape. Now we are going to be replacing some of the doors. You can see here, some wear and tear on the lower cabinet doors here. But overall, the cabinet boxes themselves are in pretty good shape. I mean, these look like they've never even been opened. So that was kind of something we weighed. Do we do the full kitchen? Do we get by with what we have? And given the condition, given what else we're doing with the place, this is something that we thought was pretty passable. One tip, I guess, too, that I'll just bring up. Obviously, we're missing the stove and the fridge. They were here before. One of the biggest issues we have is just getting appliances out of the house. They were a little bit old. They were the black style. So you typically do stainless steel when we update these. And all we did is we posted them on Facebook Marketplace for 75 bucks. And they were out of here 3 hours later. I'm not a big social media guy really at all. It's more my brother's cup of tea, but Facebook Marketplace, that's a great way to get rid of stuff. Because otherwise I would have to haul it out of here in a truck, or I'd have to pay somebody to come trash it out. Meanwhile, I made 150 bucks and I got it out of the house without having to break a sweat. So I did have to take the door off. I'll have to put that back on just to get the fridge out of here. But just a little tip and trick how you can try to get some clean out done and you're getting paid instead of paying somebody else. So I just figured I'd drop that little hint there. Because again, the biggest issue is just getting it out of the house, and then that 150 bucks, well, that just bought me all my doorknobs for the inside. So this is the addition of the house. Now this was a little bit of not a funky layout, but a little questionable. So we had this is like the main home. There's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom that way we'll get to. But then we have like this little bonus area. They were really using this as like the living room, TV room, and they were using this area as like the main dining area. So we're gonna try to keep this flow in here because you can see we have the door out to the living room, and then this is a door into the 3rd bedroom. So our kind of thought was, do we put a door here and make this part of the bedroom, like this area, or do we keep the door and kind of keep this part of the living area? We went the second part. We're going to keep this part of the living area, throw a real door on here, and then we have the I guess the 3rd bedroom, even though it's the first one we're walking into. Now this one, this is the addition of the house. There is no hardwood under the floor. We're on subfloor here. So in this room and in this room, we're going to be doing the floating floor. I don't think we're going to be putting hardwood in here just because it's a rental, and the rest of the house is going to have the hardwood too. So windows were updated. They're all vinyl windows, which is nice. We're going to have to do a little patchwork here and there for some of the drywall, but again, not too bad. Nothing too crazy, especially with what we've seen on some of the past properties. I think this video will be coming out after another walkthrough of a rental where we did an eviction, and it's gonna be a little bit, you'll kind of see the difference between the two. Bedroom number 2, same thing again, just got some of the demo in here, so apologies for the mess, but we got hardwood under here, so carpet's coming up, hardwood will get refurbed. So this was the old end of the house, like side of the house. You can see they got the window patch and it's poking through quite a bit, even without the light shining on it. You can see the shadow there. So got the drywall guy coming, because I'm not dry. I've tried it a million times. I don't know what it is with drywall, but me and drywall just don't mix. So I'm gonna have him come by, kind of float this whole wall so that disappears and we're not gonna be seeing the window outline. He's gonna do a few other things for me too, but that was kind of the bigger one there, just to keep that in mind. But again, good sized bedroom. Got the closet there right on the side here as well. So true 3 bedrooms, which is pretty nice. Little hallway, again, more of the same carpet we've been seeing throughout the house. All hardwood under here. We'll come into the third bedroom. Same thing, what we're seeing, updated windows, and then this is where, we can get a glimpse at the hardwood underneath. So that should clean up pretty nicely. We didn't see any waves or bumps or feel anything when we were walking through the rest of the house. So, that's one thing just that we're always taking into consideration. You don't necessarily know what's underneath it, but, trying to walk over as much of it as you can just to feel any of those bumps. Little closet right there, and then here's the bathroom. So, as you can see, I got started a little bit here with the demo, just taking some of the, they had some paneling on the walls. So just getting that off, took the vanity out, took the medicine cabinet out. So our plan is to leave this the shower and the tub insert. Pretty good shape, again, just needs to be really cleaned up. You see a little bit of, I think there were smokers in the house, so you can see some of the residue, but that should clean up pretty nicely. Just give it a good scrub down with the brushes and the drill and everything. And then again, just some more drywall here. You can see they have the paneling kind of everywhere in the bathroom. So this will effectively be all turned over other than the tub and the insert. New fixtures, new vanity, new toilet, the whole nine. So pretty good. We're gonna get a vent installed in here as well. You can see they just have the light over the medicine cabinet. We got the window, but we're gonna get a vent installed there as well, just to limit any moisture getting in here if we can help it. Okay, that's kind of it for the main house. Again, not very big. But just something to consider. Like I said, we tend to have a little bit more luck. Well, maybe not more luck, but we get a lot more inquiries on the smaller homes than we do on some of the bigger ones that we have in our portfolio. Because I guess my logic would be is they appeal to a bit of a broader audience. You might get a single person, a couple, maybe one kid, maybe two kids, but yeah, you're not getting the the six kid family, but they're not looking at this house, right? So just keeping that in mind. Again, I got the power off right now. Let me just, since we're here, let's pop these on, because I think it might help a little bit if we can get some lights down in the basement. There we go. Okay. So this light, all right, that doesn't want to turn on, even though it was turning. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just give it a little percussive maintenance there. All right. So this is where they had the laundry area. We're going to be cleaning this up quite a bit just because it does feel a little bit dungeony down here, right? With some of the peeling wall paint, right? So we'll clean it up. The plan is to basically, we dry lock our basement floors just to limit any moisture. We'll dry lock the walls. Always suggest that, especially if you got the bare basement, right? This place didn't look like it was getting much water at all, so that's good. But we are gonna have to do a little bit of maintenance down here. Little bit of some water damage, of course, right after I say it wasn't getting too much water. But I think this was a plumbing leak and not water from the outside. As you can see, we got some repairs we're gonna have to do here to the plumbing, and you can see some of the discoloration from a previous leak. So plumber's coming by next week. He's gonna take care of all of this, just make sure we're tip top and ready to go. You can see a little bit more of it here. We're gonna replace these panels as well. So it's coming around, full basement. Was finished. You see they have the paneling down here. That's just a little door to the crawl space under the addition there, but good space. I mean, cleaning this up, that goes a long way. Again, just gonna basically dry lock the floor, paint the paneling. We'll replace any of the panels that we need to, just from a like a safety maintenance perspective. But you got the lighting, replace some of the drop ceiling, and I mean, this could be a hangout spot at the end of the day. We got power down here too. We got heat down here too. So they were using this as a living space at one point. Just trying to keep stuff in mind. What was the previous use? What would the end user use it for? What would the tenant use it for? Just kind of trying to think of that stuff, and keep it in mind. And I guess while I got you here, just to give you a little background. So yeah, we got it off market deal. We got it for $208, which was nice. Now, one of the benefits that my brother and I have, obviously, we're in the business. We've seen, thousands of properties at this point. We're pretty comfortable waiving inspections on most of our offers just to make them more enticing. Coming here, kind of the bigger issues being like roof, mechanicals. Mechanicals look like they're in pretty good shape. I think this water heater is only a few years old. Furnace looks like it's good. We're not seeing any corrosion, right? And that's usually like where we're kind of seeing the price of repairs go up is in relation to this stuff. Little bit of some coverage wrap stuff going on here, but none of it has to be replaced like the plumbing itself. We're just basically going to get rid of this, what looks like legacy insulation, maybe even a homeowner special with the duct tape, get the pro plumber over here and get it rewrapped. So that was really like our only big concern with the place, because again, most of it does just appear to be cosmetic. Now again, I understand, you know, I have the luxury of being in the business and seeing, you know, thousands of properties at this point in my life, but just something to consider. You know, if you're pretty confident on the property, or even if you expect something to go wrong, work it into your budget. You know, we always allocate for incidentals, things you don't expect, about 10 to 15%, just because it happens, very simply. So just having that in mind, you know, having that spare change, so to speak, because then guess what? If you don't spend it, well, you're just hedging the expectation, and now that bill feels a little bit better when you get it and it's not the number you thought it would be. So I'm gonna have an after video at this one. Like I said, once the repairs are done, just wanted to give you guys a quick little walkthrough here, maybe even do something with like the numbers, maybe like a little educational video. If you guys are interested in something like that, leave a comment, because we do have a few of these rentals. We've refinanced a bunch of them, so I like to think our math kind of adds up. So if that's something you guys would be interested, go ahead and leave a comment, and that's something we can start working on in terms of content. All right, so I think that's going to be it for today. Appreciate you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See ya.